Every day's a chance you can do something amazing to feel your passion blazing and shine. Yeah.
Paint with every vision, dance in new directions, explode to new heights in your mind.
I will rise up with you today. Lift up my voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for.
Good afternoon and welcome to AGNT Speaks. My name is Lola Wright. I have the great honor and privilege of serving on the Leadership Council of the Association for Global New Thought. And we are coming to you each and every week with one of our Leadership Council members here to remind us of what we are in the midst of. We're in this kind of evolutionary progression, this impulse for life to move through each of us. And we're in a very acute moment on the planet. So I have the honor and privilege of being here both today as your host and as your guide in an experience. If you're not already familiar with the Association for Global New Thought, welcome. We are a body of human beings and part of a larger movement that is here to support you in awakening to this high idea that we are all intrinsically connected one to another, that nothing is occurring in this material realm in isolation. And so my hope is that you are gathering here today to rise above the drama-based patterns that are so easily found on these platforms. You can find us at AGNT.today if you're interested in more ways of engaging with us. So we're going to gather here for a few minutes. I'd love to lead you through an experience that is supportive of where you are in your day and what you're wanting more of, what you're nudging towards. And then if you're joining us on Zoom, I hope you'll stick around so that we can have a Q&A afterwards and really practice what it means to be in an awake and aware state when there is so much seduction to be sleepy. So with that in mind, I'd love to just jump in and grateful that you're here with me. One of the things that's been really informing my work these days is the awareness that we are these kinesthetic creatures. We are these beings that are overly identified with our thinking mind, but made up of these incredible intelligence centers that are certainly connected to our thinking mind, but go well beyond it. So you and I are comprised of our IQ, our intellectual quotient, our EQ, our emotional quotient, and our BQ, our body quotient. We are living largely from the neck up. What we are seeing on the planet right now is a lot of drama and struggle and suffering and duality and either or thinking, binary models that are all operating at the level of the thinking mind. And from my perspective, there's just a huge limitation to what that can produce. So if you and I are these extraordinary creatures that have found ourselves at this time in the evolution of humanity on the planet, from my perspective, that is no accident or coincidence. I am based in Chicago. I was born and built in Chicago. I love this city, and it's been in the headlines for quite some time. And those headlines are drama-based. And those headlines are intended to trigger your reptilian brain and have you and I sort of clamp down and lock into fear. And look, fear is a natural response. It's part of how we are wired. It informs us, it keeps us safe. But when we are in a trance of fear, when we are seduced by fear, we have completely disconnected from creativity, imagination, the power and presence of this infinite well that lives in us. And so I want to invite us to interrupt the fear and drama-based patterns that recycle and produce more of the same. For some of us, that might look like obsessively watching the news. For some of us, that might look like not watching anything. And I want to catch how those two things can be similar, right? So, how might I be an informed and engaged being on the planet, being in whatever country you may find yourself in? How may I be informed, aware, connected to the larger human experience, and not be taken out by it? To me, that is the way of mastery. That is the way, that's really what we're on the planet for, is to not numb out, not disconnect, to lean in, but with curiosity, and watch for the tendency to do so with addiction. So with that in mind, I'd love to lead us through a meditation. I'd love to invite you to connect with your body and your feeling state. You know, we're in this kind of collective trauma response right now in the human experience, and it's supported by our adrenalized reaction to a pandemic. It's supported by our adrenalized reaction to racism. It's supported by an adrenalized reaction to economic crisis. It's supported by our adrenalized reaction to a presidential election. And you and I have capacity beyond our adrenalized reactivity. So with that in mind, I'd love to just connect us to our body, our feelings. Oftentimes we'll do the practice of meditation to leave, to disassociate. And I actually want to invite us into a practice of meditation that integrates, reconnects, reacquaints us with the brilliance that is our body. So with that in mind, I invite you to take a deep breath, and if it's comfortable for you, go ahead and close your eyes. Begin to deepen the breath into the belly, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And perhaps begin to breathe more deeply than is familiar for you. As the breath deepens into the belly, begin to notice the body sensations that are here now. You may place your awareness on the way the seat beneath you supports you. You may begin to notice the way your clothing touches your skin. You may begin to sense into any place or space in the body that is gripping or bracing. As you scan your body, invite the breath to deepen into the belly. You might tune in to your brow and invite the brow to soften. Tune in to the jaw, so often a place that we carry tension. Invite the jaw to relax. You may do that by resting the tongue on the bottom inside of your teeth, creating a little bit of space between the top and bottom teeth. Perhaps turning the corners of your mouth just slightly upwards. Remembering to deepen the belly, the breath into the belly. Place your awareness on your chest. And just see, is your chest open or is it collapsed? Do you sense a kind of heaviness? You may choose to place your hand on your chest as a somatic reminder that in this now moment, you are okay. Might sense into your shoulders and see if you can allow them to fall, creating some length between your earlobes and your shoulders. You might choose to place your other hand on your belly. Right here, right now, in this moment. All is well. Of course, we connect to the goodness of this moment, not as a way of denying or disconnecting from the collective experience on the planet. But we do this as a kind of reminder to calm our central nervous system. When you and I have peace in our body, when we have stillness in our body, we are more capable of engaging, responding to that which is occurring around us with a greater sense of presence and curiosity and creativity. So again, I invite you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. As you tune in to your body sensations and your feeling states, you may ask yourself, what feeling is here now? Do I notice anger, sadness, fear, joy, creativity? Perhaps you sense a cocktail of emotions. You may ask yourself, where is the locus of control? Have I placed my sense of peace, of stillness, of presence in external circumstances or conditions? And may I bring my awareness back to my breath and connect to this infinite source of life that is moving and breathing and having its way in, through, and as me. What I know is that you and I are capable of being in a still space in our body, in our feelings, and in our mind without denying the human experience. We are capable of holding both realities. So I invite you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Doing that a couple more times, perhaps giving yourself the gift of an audible exhale. Perhaps beginning to wiggle your fingers, your toes, bringing this state of stillness that is always available into your day. When you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. I want to thank you for joining us today. I encourage you to join us again here next week for AGNT Speaks at 12 p.m. Central Time on the AGNT Facebook page. If you're interested in a more up close and personal experience in the Zoom room, where we connect a bit for face-to-face time after this live stream, you can visit agnt.today for more information there. We encourage you to engage with this organization by making a donation or joining as a member. We really know the power of collective action when a group of human beings come together with a shared intention of transcending drama-based patterns and tapping into our shared humanity. Something else becomes possible. It's so easy to get caught up in right or wrong, good or bad, either or paradigms. And we've seen what that's produced. It's just not the highest and greatest and most inspired idea for the human experience. So we encourage you to join us by connecting with us at agnt.today. You'll have the opportunity to learn more about our Leadership Council, the incredible work that so many of us are doing out in the world, find out more about our upcoming live streams, and perhaps even find a local community to engage with, even if that is online. There's power in micro communities forming, even in the midst of today's circumstances and conditions. So again, I thank you for being with us here today. I encourage you to join us in the Zoom room and stick around if you're already here. Lots of love to you. And may I ask you to pause, breathe, check in with your feelings and your body before getting swept away by this collective trauma response that we find ourselves in. So lots of love, peace, many blessings. And if you're sticking around for the Zoom room, I look forward to talking with you more in just a moment.
People are seeking community because community matters. What I know is that when we confront our tribal agreements, when we begin to identify systems that separate us, we start to experience unexpected encounters and we have access to our shared humanity. It is the deepest kind of healing I know. See, community can provide salve to the soul. We've seen innovation in every industry. We're exploring artificial intelligence, robotics, flying cars, immunotherapy. Religious constructs haven't shifted in the last 1,000 to 2,000 years. But it's not because there isn't something wanted. See, something is wanted. Something is longed for. Shared humanity is felt. The power of community is palpable. To transcend tribalism is what will heal the consciousness of humanity at this time in history. The need and the desire for community has not changed. Community must evolve. The longing will never be eliminated. Thank you.
So I'm very grateful to be here with our brilliant executive director, Barbara Fields, who always inspires me with her incredible capacity to find the right thing at the right